All right, for number 10, we're asked to evaluate each of the following. So for parts A, B, and D, we have negative exponents. Remember, ignore the negative exponent for now, and whatever value you get, you're just going to find the reciprocal of your answer. So for part A, ignore the negative. If this was 6 squared, it would be 6 times 6, which is 36. So 36 would be my value if it were a positive exponent, but it's not. It's a negative. So all I do is find the reciprocal of 36. In order to find the reciprocal, I need to make 36 a fraction by putting a 1 under it, and the reciprocal just means interchange the numerator and denominator, or you guys usually say flip the fraction. So it's 1 over 36. For part B, again, negative exponent, ignore it. If this were 3/4 squared, how do I evaluate that? I would expand by writing 3/4 times 3/4. And to multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 4 is 16. So this would be my value if this were to the positive second, but it's not. It's to the negative second. So all I do is take my value, 9/16, and I flip the fraction or find the reciprocal. So it's 16/9. For part C, any base to the 0 power, it doesn't matter what base it is. We've proved this in class with that pattern. Any base to the 0 power is 1. Lastly, part D. Again, we have a negative exponent. Ignore it. Rewrite this as if it were to the positive 4th power. So what does this negative on the outside actually mean? You guys remember I told you if there's a negative on the outside, you can ignore it and tack on the negative to your answer. So right now I'm going to ignore it. If I were expanding 1/3 to the 4th, I would write 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. Why did I write it 4 times? Remember, our exponent tells us how many times to write it. So to multiply straight across, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1. And if I multiply 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that gives me 81. So this would be my value. First of all, ignoring the negative on the outside that I need to tack on to my answer, this would be the value if it were to the positive 4th, but it's not. It's to the negative 4th power. So I need to flip the fraction. So 1 over 81 the reciprocal would be 81 over 1, or just 81. And do not forget, you ignored this negative here from the very beginning. Now we need to add it to our answer, so our final value here is negative 81.